I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh.
Everybody, and welcome back to the best place in the entire world, the VHS Doom rental store and podcast, primarily a podcast.
We're just a podcast.
We are, or just a podcast, whatever. I can dream. But the best place that you could probably be, in the whole world.
The funny thing
thanks
is,
for heading back.
The funny thing is, though, I do have a lot of used stuff that I could turn into a store.
You do. Yeah, you could actually have a VHS or a rental
Dylan's
store.
Always telling
or
me every
something.
convention to do that.
I am, yeah. I'm like, Mike, dude, the next time, Monster Mania Con comes around, you need to go and set up a booth and sell your old stuff.
I'm thinking about doing it on eBay, but I just keep forgetting to, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean,
dad
it's
life.
hard to get. It's the dad life for sure. And then also, I mean, I assume I don't have as big of a collection as you, but every time that my wife tries to get me to get rid of some DVDs, I'm like, no, absolutely not. What are you talking about?
The only ones I get rid of are the ones I already upgraded.
Right, so you have upgraded your collection. So you don't really have any excuse. You should be a vendor. People would probably love to come hang out with you, Well, anyway, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming back and visiting our little podcast here. God, son of a fucking bitch. What is it this week?
It is Ghost Energy's Bubblicious Strawberry Smash.
Bubblicious Strawberry Smash.
From Ghost Energy.
Mikey's about to put that in his mouth right now.
It tastes like the Bubblicious bubblegum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Liquid Bubblicious bubblegum. All right, with an energy kick.
5 calories per can.
A little bit of bull semen right down
sugar.
the gullet.
No, I don't think they use that.
0 sugar, 5 grams of carbs.
There is cum in there.
37 grams of cum.
And
okay.
2,000%
nice.
of caffeine.
Right, yeah, only 75,000% of your normal daily intake recommendation of caffeine.
I drank 3 of these in a day before.
Holy shit, bro. Yes, Anxiety City. Welcome to Anxiety City. That would be me if I drank 3. Holy shit. Anyway, so, yes, welcome everyone back to the store, back to the podcast, and thanks for returning. I did want to take a second before we get rolling to ask you if it's your first time joining us to please subscribe, give us a follow, give us a rating if you're listening to us. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a little star rating up there. That's super helpful for us.
We also would put polls down there too.
Yeah. We usually put some polls or questions on Spotify, so if you want to answer those, that'd be cool. Really, the more engagement that we get on whatever platform that you're listening to us on, the more people we will reach. So, also, share this podcast with your friends if you think that they're into horror. That would be really cool. Or cult or campy films or whatever. But we have all the good stuff here. So yeah, share it with your friends. Let them know VHS Doom is a cool place and they should join the club. So that being said, Mikey, what does VHS Doom mean to you? What is VHS Doom? I wrote that question down.
It's my favorite thing to do every week. We're able to be closer because of the show, and because we don't live near each other as we used to, but it's nice. It's almost like a movie night or just hanging out or talking about movies we like, showing you guys some other stuff, just fun video store experience.
I think that's absolutely accurate. So just for those of you who haven't been listening to the podcast, or those of you who have, Mikey and I, we started this podcast because Mikey and I really enjoy what we are talking about on this podcast. And we thought, well, maybe people will like it and maybe people won't give a shit, but we don't really care because we get to hang out every week. And, we're best friends,
Tuesday
so we hang
Thursday.
out. Right. Every Tuesday or Thursday, even though he lives in Connecticut and I live in Virginia. So it's been really nice for us to be able to just hang out. And on top of that, we do want to say we appreciate everybody. We're over 300 listens now.
I can't believe that people
303.
actually put up with us for what is it, almost 19 weeks?
Yeah, this is episode 19.
That's crazy.
I know. And then, next week, episode 20 weeks. Yay! That's wild, bro.
You can use your
we're almost there.
Soundboard.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me do a little... see if there's a cheer here. I'm real bad at using the soundboard. That's why we need an audio engineer. Hint, hint, if anybody's interested in doing that.
We don't have any money for it.
Yeah, 20 weeks, motherfuckers. 20 weeks. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Yeah, so anyway, thanks everybody for coming along on this journey. I think for me, when I asked myself, what is VHS Doom? That's exactly what it was. It's two friends hanging out, shooting the shit about movies, talking about stuff that they like, and hopefully you guys like it too. I did want to call out, I actually got a comment. So we are all over the place, right? Like Mikey said, we're on TikTok, he mentioned Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, we're about to be on Blue Sky when I get that set up this week.
Yeah, I just sent Dylan the code I got for it. So
yeah, so we're gonna get it set up there. So we're all over the place. Wherever you like to hang out on social media, give us a follow. It's at VHS Doom or VHS Doom Pod or podcast. Just type in VHS Doom and you'll find us anywhere. But I was actually really happy because I got a comment on TikTok regarding. So I put out a trailer for this episode. I put out the Toxic Avenger trailer essentially in TikTok form. And then kind of put, the release date and stuff on there. But I got a comment from somebody on TikTok who was really cool, and he ended up following the show. So on TikTok, he's El Rambo 559, which I really like that. But he commented, my first superhero movie, this and Evil Dead 2. I was 6 years old. Good times. I was like, oh, shit, man. We just covered Evil Dead 1 and 2 a few weeks ago. True classics. So I feel like we're reaching people who are our audience. And, if you guys found us on TikTok or Twitter or wherever you found us, we're glad you're here and we hope you keep listening in. So I just wanted to say a big thanks. Also, before we start talking about what we've done this week, I had one other shout out I wanted to make, kind of like we'll call this like a plug that is an unsponsored plug because I just like this guy. But we had somebody reach out to us on Instagram, Brandon Ford. He is an author. He has books, actually quite a few books that are available for purchase on Amazon. But some of the ones that have more ratings and pretty highly rated, I saw he has titles like Open Wounds, Payphone, and another one was called He Wore a Leather Jacket. But there are quite a few more titles. He's been listening to the show every week and actually has been providing us some feedback, which has been really nice. And he has a podcast with a friend of his where they actually watch movies in real time and kind of talk about them as they're being watched.
Like me and Jimmy tried doing that on Dab of Death, and it was unlistenable.
Well, it's cool. So this podcast is called the Blind Rage Podcast. It's a really good podcast. I went and I listened through Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, 1990. So that was like their most recent episode, I think it was. Oh, no, they have one newer than that. They released one day ago called, it's Death Becomes Her. In 1992. So anyway, they play the movie, they give commentary, and it was a good listen. So go check out the Blind Rage podcast with Brandon Ford, and check out his books. I just wanted to say a big thank you to him for all the feedback he's been giving us. So that's been great. So anyway, that's like the shout outs I got. Actually one more before we get into what we've been doing. Shout out to a Dab of Death podcast. Yeah! You guys are about to put out an episode.
Hell yeah, we just did cool little like it's almost like our break room episode.
Yeah,
we did that kind of thing. Cool. We did talked about some true crime, some funny Florida man stuff, and
nice. This was kind of like a birthday celebration episode, right?
Yeah, it was Jimmy's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
yeah,
Jimmy.
It was. We said happy birthday on the last podcast, so I'm really glad to. I'm excited to hear that. I know it's. You said it went long, so he's got some editing to do.
Yeah, it was
so
almost
I'm
like
excited
2
for
hours
that.
of us just talking.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited when that comes out. I'll be tuning.
Yeah,
right
it's
in,
not a vomit radio this week, so there's no music in there. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think next one we're doing is a true crime one.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's cool, man. I can't wait to hear it. So. Anyway, that's all I got. Any shout-outs from you?
The podcast Tangents of Horror, Video Nasties on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, shout-out for sure.
Shout out our real-life friend, Romit Miller.
Romit, I hope you listen, bud. I hope you do. If you are, you're the man.
Troy.
Fuck yeah.
Mr. Morbid, usual people.
All
and Jimmy, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously Jimmy. Cool. All right. Well, that's our little shout-out section. So, all right, moving forward, shit, man. I mean, we're like 10 minutes late to clock in, but what you been up to?
Just like home stuff. I don't know. Stay-home dad kind of stuff for the time being. He's going to preschool in like a few weeks. So yesterday we went to the preschool that's in elementary school, and we got on the bus, and he had his first bus ride because he's gonna have to bus home.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be here at the bus stop, but
yeah, no. So how did he like the bus?
He thought it was funny.
Yeah, did he like the bouncing and all?
Yeah,
that stuff?
he was like going so fast. Can't believe he's gonna be 3 in a month,
bro. That's wild. Yeah. So are you nervous to let him go off into the world? Well, he did daycare.
He's done daycare,
right?
Yeah. He did 2 years of daycare.
Yeah.
That got too expensive. I think it's crazy how much that is.
No, yeah, it's like more than rent. Yeah,
it's like a second rent, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna be going to the public school, elementary school, and it's a little cute room with like a few classmates.
Nice, very cool, man. I feel like Ari stays home with my mother-in-law, right? She's not quite 2 yet. She's like a little under 2, like 20 months or something. But
I can't believe that.
So she's very tall.
Yeah.
So it's funny. She's in dance class, which I talked about I think last week. But she's the youngest kid in dance class because they start at 18 months.
That's how it was with Sam with music class.
Yeah, but she is taller than any other kid in the entire class, and it goes up to 3s. So
I forgot what his percentile was, but like he was like on the short side.
Yeah, last time we went to the doctor, Ari was in like the 90th or 85th percentile of height. She's very tall.
Yeah, Katie and I are both pretty short, so.
Yeah, which is fun. So I'm average and Carla's short, but my mom is tall for a girl.
I'd say you're pretty tall.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, I don't know, 5'10", 5'11"-ish, maybe. But anyway, yeah. I grew fast, though. What? You're 4'9".
No, I'm 5'8". I'm just messing with you.
You know what, though? Everybody would believe it because you can't see Mikey.
That's
he
the
doesn't
joke.
have a fucking camera.
That's like the extra part of the joke.
He's 4'9". He's got red curly hair.
I have no hair.
He wears really thick glasses.
I need glasses. I don't have them.
He wears suspenders and typically orange pants and no shirt. I don't know.
Orange pants?
I don't know. That's Mikey.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell us otherwise. Nobody believes you.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know anymore. That's terrible.
Right. That's okay, Girthy Ween. You're fine. So this week, Mikey's name is Girthy Ween, which is a good one. So I'll be referring to him as that this week.
He's going by Joel.
I'm just Joel. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything good. So, hi, I'm Joel. Okay, yeah. So anyway, where was I going with that? Ari. Oh, so she dance was her first like group activity. She's never been in daycare. She hasn't done obviously preschool. She likes it. She talks about it all the time.
That's how Sammy was with soccer.
But because she's the youngest and she doesn't hasn't done group activities before, when she gets there, she goes in by herself, like she's confident, and then she just stands like a statue the whole time until the teacher moves her.
Sammy's the opposite.
Yeah.
He's like running around the classroom. When we had soccer, like the session we did last in the spring, he was like literally just like running around the field. I'd have to try to catch him when he's not playing. Like in between like the little games, like he was pretty good. He made a few goals.
Nice. Good.
But like when we were playing the game, he was like running around the field and like laughing because he knew I was like following him.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's really funny? So like Ari, she's not. I wouldn't say shy. She's very like cautious, right? But so last weekend,
he's shy too.
we went to a friend's house to their pool, and there was a bunch of people there. And there was a dog there, a little like poodle-y kind of dog that was very friendly. So usually when Ari's around new people, she's very like, clammy and like kind of closed off, and she'll look at you and stare at you, but she doesn't. She saw the dog, ran into the group of people and said, "I love dogs, love, love, love dogs." I was like, man, if we just get a dog and dance class, then we're golden.
That's like Sammy with dinosaurs. It's funny,
right? Yeah, she likes people. I mean, she likes animals more than people. I'm fine with that. So, anyway, yeah. So that's my week. Anything else from you?
Yeah, we went to my wife's aunt's for her birthday. It was pretty nice, and then
okay, nice.
Took Sammy to
Happy
the park,
birthday.
and then I watched a bunch of movies.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into that. What have you been watching this week?
I watched a couple Spanish horror movies, and two horror movies and a giallo from Spain.
Okay.
I'll go with the werewolf one first. So this is Night of the Werewolf. It's also called The Return of the Werewolf. It's played by he's the main character. Waldemar Dansky is played by Paul Naschy. He was like Lon Chaney of Spain. Okay, so like he did his own effects. He would like do his own movie. Like he directed this movie too. This came out in 1981, and in the U.S. it was 1985. Yeah, it's a really good one. So pretty much this werewolf is put to death, and then he comes back. He's executed with his mistress, who's Elizabeth Bathory, and her coven of witches. Okay. So pretty much he's like goes into the future, and he's like fighting with Bathory, pretty much. Like he wakes. Somebody accidentally wakes him up.
Okay.
He had like
the poster is badass, bro.
Yeah,
I like that.
You want to read the Spanish title for it?
Yeah. Sí, El Retorno del Hombre Lobo.
He was also called The Craving, and I have it through the Shout Factory Paul Naschy set.
Okay, cool.
Nice. All three of these. Oh no, only two of these are from that set. The other one is a dragonfly for each corpse. It's a giallo from Spain, and is directed by Leon Klimovsky. And stars Paul Naschy. He's a detective in it. It's a killer is cleaning up the streets of Milan by murdering those considered as deviant. So he was like killing drug addicts, sex workers, pretty much anybody he seemed like bad, and then left a little dragon ornament on each body. It's a good one. I like it a lot. It's from 1975. All right, and then the last one. This one is a movie that's pretty much influenced by Elizabeth Bathory. So this is called Blood Ceremony, and it's also called The Legend of Blood Castle. And aging, it's like I guess like a queen.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's obsessed with looking young, and she pretty much does the same thing Elizabeth Bathory does.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one stars Lucia Bose, Esparco Santoni. Oh, I always get her name wrong.
Ewa?
Yeah, Ewan. And it's directed by Jorge Grau. He did Living Dead of the Manchester Morgue.
Okay.
Which is like one of my favorite zombie movies. It came out right before Dawn of the Dead, but it feels like in that same kind of universe kind of thing.
Okay. Is it like The Video Dead about that quality level?
No. This is This is a Spanish horror movie. I think it's shot in England. Pretty much, pesticide is starting to turn people, the dead into living dead.
Okay, cool. I like that.
I think it's on the level of like a Fulci zombie movie or like Romero.
Okay, nice. That's a high accolade from you, bud.
It's also called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, starring Arthur Kennedy, Ray Lovelock, Cristina Galbo, and is directed by Jorge Grau, as I said before. Yeah, it's really good. I love it a lot. It's one of my favorites.
Nice. Yeah, I think these all sound really cool. So
then Night of the Werewolf is the 9th in a 12-movie series of the werewolf Count Waldemar Densky, played by Paul Naschy.
Okay. Got it, man.
I can name those other titles, but I don't want to keep derailing the show.
Oh no, you're good.
Because I could talk about Paul Naschy for days, honestly.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do. You know what we haven't done? We haven't done I know he's director, actor, a little bit of everything, but we haven't done a spotlight on an individual in a little while.
Speaking of spotlights, I wanted to say rest in peace, William Friedkin.
Oh yeah, thank you for bringing that.
That really makes me sad. He's one of my favorite directors, like The Sorcerer, French Connection, The Exorcist.
Yeah, I know. That was really, really sad to hear. He just passed away yesterday.
Yeah.
August the 7th. So yeah, obviously, his catalog was amazing, but
no matter the genre, honestly.
Yeah.
He even had a cool exorcism documentary coming from a religious standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I forgot the name of it though.
He has won. I mean, he won all sorts of awards throughout his life, but he did win an Academy Award for Best Director for The French Connection.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, he won Academy Award. He was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director for The Exorcist, actually. But he did win a Golden Globe for Best Director for The Exorcist. But yeah, he went on.
Oh yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he won a ton of awards for his film. So rest in peace, and thank you, sir, for your contributions. So
especially for The French Connection and that chase scene.
Yeah, and The Exorcist. I mean, come on. So
I love The Exorcist too.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of it, but I love it.
What'd you say? You're scared of it?
I said I'm not. I grew up Jewish, so Catholic things don't make me scared.
You're right. You're yeah, that's not real. Awesome. Well, so my watches this week will parry out of that eulogy there. My watches this week, actually, I only have one movie to report on because I was watching a TV show at the other point, which I'll talk about. But
is it Troma related?
It is 100%. I try to stay in the same vein as the movies we're talking about. And as you guys know, this week is the Toxic Avenger. So my other movie that I watched this week, which was a rewatch, but a totally worthwhile rewatch, was Class of Nukem High.
Oh, my God. I rewatched that in March. It's so good.
Man, 1986. It came out on December the 12th of 1986. Directed by Richard Haynes, Michael Hertz, Lloyd Kaufman, written by the same group. Plus Mark Rudnitsky and Stuart Strutton. If you haven't seen, I'm not going to go through the plot, man. If you haven't seen Class of Nukem High, go watch Class of Nukem High. But essentially, very similar to other Troma films. Some toxic chemical waste has turned some teenagers into some horny bastards.
They
and
explode
violent.
And do funny things.
And there's a wild birth scene. And
there's another one in the third one too.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Oh, that one's fucking funny as hell, dude. You gotta see that one. The remake, well, not remake, the requel, I guess, Return to Nukem High is good. I haven't seen the second one though yet. Okay,
got you. Yeah, no, I have not either, but I had seen Class of Nukem High, a few years ago. Not many years. I say a few. I probably mean 15. But yeah, it'd been a while, so I was like, man, I gotta watch this. This is just so much fun.
Yeah, I had I would say a phase in March where I was just watching Troma stuff.
Nice. Okay, so we will get into this shortly, but I actually downloaded the Troma Now app for this episode to be able to go through their catalog, discuss the app, because I know that it's a really cool app. I mean, you can find all of Troma's stuff in one place, plus all kinds of extra categories of film.
Yeah, they put out a lot of other stuff that's not their own, like really good stuff. Like that's how I found Graduation Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good app. So that's where I watched my rewatches this week, and I'm gonna keep it. So it was $4.99.
Yeah, well, it's not
free.
Too bad.
It's actually free for the first 30 days, and it's funny. So if you follow Lloyd Kaufman on Twitter, he's really funny. Everywhere you follow him, he's funny.
I think he likes us.
Yeah, he's retweeted us a couple times, which is cool. So I appreciate that if you do listen to this, Uncle Lloyd. But
that's a Troma. We love you.
He's funny because he would post about his own app and be like, hey, just get a new email, get it free for 30 days, and then cancel it, and then use your next email and get it free for 30 days.
I love him.
He's like the master of not making any money off of his films, but continuing to make more films, and I love that.
You know who he reminds me
of?
Who? Charles Band, the guy who does like Full Moon.
Oh, okay. I got
those two. Lloyd and him have been like my two favorite, like kind of like Roger Corman too, where like they did everything, put out the movies, made the movie,
overall film influence.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, for sure.
And how like all of their movies like changed everything. I feel like.
I think what's cool is like so Lloyd Kaufman made like a documentary on how to make a film, and
a book.
Right.
I think James Gunn helped him write the book.
Yeah, so he was an inspiration to me when I was like making the promos for Brava, and we were making our short film, and we were doing all that. He was a huge influence. So, man, and just I remember as a kid, like the Toxie cartoons, and so I'm really excited about.
Me and Jimmy were talking about that because we were talking about this episode.
Yeah.
On Dab of Death, and like he was telling me the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
that's how I found it too.
Super nostalgic. So I'm really happy that we're here this week. But yeah, so anyway, that's what we watched this week, and usually what we've watched throughout the week is going to end up on your card going home with you. If you don't know the program here and it's your first time listening to VHS Doom, we're about half an hour in, so we're about to jump into the whole rest of the show, but we usually shoot the shit in the beginning, and then at the end we tell you for only $3 a month. That's the cost of membership. What we do is we'll recommend 5 movies, send you home with 6, because we're going to send you home with the movie for next week as well, which we'll talk about when we get there. Mikey, do you have any hints you want to give out?
It's Australian.
Okay. Anything else?
It's based on a true story.
Okay, cool. Then we will stop there. So that's going to be your hint.
Because I feel like if I said anything else, it would like spoil it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so we'll at the end of the show we'll give you your 6 movies to take home, your recommendations on the podcast. But if you were in our store, you'd be going home with 6. So $3 a month, 6 movies a week. It's an amazing fucking deal. Welcome to the store.
You don't actually have to pay anything. Dylan's just saying a gimmick.
No, I just make up dollar amounts because. Oh, but you know what? Speaking of actual purchases, if you guys want, head on over to VHSDoom.com, scroll all the way to the bottom. We have an official merch store now. Wait, let me... Hold on, I'm really bad at this. Hold on. Oh, God. Where is it? Okay. Yay, merch store. Yay. Yeah, so VHSDoom.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see a link. We now have a VHS Doom mug. we have the VHS Doom staff shirt, which I'm wearing today if you're watching on YouTube. And then also, we're starting to make some shirts based on films that we've covered that are obviously legal for us to make based on rights. But you can see what shirts we have there. We made a really cool shirt for the New York Ripper, which I like a lot.
Oh, I like that one a lot too.
It's kind of like a modified poster shirt. So anyway, check it out over there at VHSDoom.com. But that's all we got for now for our intro. And we are going to go ahead and jump in to today's feature film, The Toxic Avenger from 1984, by Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers. Step on up, press play, motherfuckers. Press play.
Meet little Melvin. He's a 90-pound weakling. Everyone hated Melvin.
I'm gonna take this mop and shove it down your throat.
They teased him.
I want to do it with you. Okay.
They taunted him. They tormented him until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste, transforming little Melvin into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Melvin became the first superhero born out of nuclear waste.
Holy shit! I don't know what it was, but it saved my life. All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
The vandals and the perverts had their way with the little people of Tromaville until the Toxic Avenger ripped them apart. The Toxic Avenger. His face is so terrifying. We can't show it to you now. You'll have to see the movie for yourself. The Toxic Avenger can bend steel with his bare hands.
Oh, we're all a kid. Get it?
Leap small cars in a single bound. He crushes drug pushers. Smashes hit-and-run drivers. For incredible, explosive action, you must see the Toxic Avenger. He's a different kind of hero.
All right, so let's fucking get it, guys. We're going to read the back of the box really quick, and then we're going to start jumping in to some details about not only the Toxic Avenger, but we'll talk about Michael Hers a little bit. We'll definitely jump into one of the coolest people that I think I have never met.
Uncle Lloyd, we love you.
Yeah, Uncle Lloyd is the man. And from there, we'll kind of talk a little bit about the future of the Toxic Avenger. There is a section. Mm-hmm. We'll get to it at the very end of this episode.
It's good news.
It's good news, but it literally, in the Wikipedia article that references the Toxic Avenger, sounds like somebody's just trolling with you.
It's not, it's real.
I know. It's fucking wild. But when I read it for the first time, I'm like, who's fucking with me?
It's
anyway,
me. Everything that like messes with you is just me.
Okay, so Mikey goes in, and so I pull, just FYI for you guys, I pull sources from all over the place. We use Wikipedia, I use Bloody Disgusting, I use articles, I use IMDb.
Bloody Disgusting's the best.
Right, all sorts of sources for these episodes. But if Mikey went in and purposely started fucking with Wikipedia, it would make for a weird episode.
That would be hilarious. I would have to know which article, right, when to do it.
Right, exactly. Anyway.
Send you fake Wikipedia links.
For real. Anyway, all right, let's jump in, y'all. So, back of the box. Dun, dun, dun. The Toxic Avenger is a 1984 American superhero black comedy splatter film directed by Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman, who was credited as Samuel Weil. Am I saying that right? Weil?
Where's it?
Weil?
Hold on.
It's Weil. If it's German, it's Weil. If it's not a German pronunciation, it's Weil. Weil. Weil? All right.
Well, Wikipedia has it as Well.
Oh, really?
No, I need glasses. Weil. I've never seen that before. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hadn't either until I was researching this. So anyway, Uncle Lloyd, well, we're glad you switched over to Lloyd. All right, so it was written by Kaufman and Joe Ritter. It is the first installment of the Toxic Avenger franchise. The film was released by Troma Entertainment, known for producing low-budget B-movies with campy concepts and gruesome violence, which are amazing. Virtually ignored upon its first release, the Toxic Avenger caught on with filmgoers after a long and successful midnight movie engagement at the Bleecker Street Cinema in Greenwich Village in late 1985. What a cool place to have gone to see the Toxic Avenger. I would have loved that. 85. Right? Obviously, now it's regarded as a cult classic. The film has generated a media franchise, including 3 film sequels, a stage musical production, which came out in 2008. It's a rock musical. Let's see here. The book of the musical was written by Joe DiPietro. The music was by David Bryan, and both wrote the lyrics. So good stuff. There is a video game, and obviously, as we mentioned before, a children's TV cartoon.
Oh, I love that show so much. Toxic Crusaders is so good. Toxic
Crusaders, man. Yeah. In 1991, it was the animated series. It was loosely based on the Toxic Avenger, but it features Toxie leading a group of misfit superheroes who combat pollution. Very cool stuff. In 2019, it was announced that Legendary Entertainment would be producing a reboot of the film with original creators Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers of Troma serving as producers and Macon Blair serving as writer and director. So Macon Blair is an American film director. If you don't know who he is, he's a producer, screenwriter, comic book writer, and actor, known for his roles in the films Blue Ruin and Green Room, as well as his directorial debut, I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. I actually haven't seen those. Have you seen Green Room?
Blue Ruin and Green Room are really good. Green Room, I think you'll like. It's a bunch of punks go to a venue they're supposed to work.
It's a Nazi venue.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart is the villain.
Yeah. I
There's
have
a
not
lot of
watched
disturbing violence in that one. Dude's stomach gets opened by a box cutter.
Oh shit. Okay.
It was Nazi, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't. I have seen the preview of that. It is on my list because I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Is a director, the same director who did this one, his first movie, and it's about a guy who goes on like a vengeance kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a revenge movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Really good.
Yeah, and have you seen I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore?
I think I have.
It's Macon Blair's directorial debut.
Was it on Netflix?
Yes, it is a Netflix film. It is on Netflix. It looks... Oh, actually, it's a decent cast here. So a timid nursing assistant gets a new lease on life when she and a neighborhood loner track down the degenerates who broke into her house. It stars Melanie Linsky, Elijah Wood, and David Yao. Okay, I have not seen it, but it looks really good. So check that out.
I liked it.
Yeah, cool stuff, man. When you had Netflix, you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was only recently because they upped the cost of 4K. And I'm not going to pay like $20 for Netflix when I have literally more movies than
right, than Netflix stuff.
Well, good movies. I'll preface it as that.
Right. Mikey has more good movies than Netflix. I'll agree to that. Yeah, I'll agree. What did we say your collection was at? Probably like 5,000?
I think it's less probably. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short. Anyway.
I haven't counted it in years, and like the packages just keep coming in. And I live like an hour away from the archive, so
right. You can't beat the archive, man, for sure. All right, so moving on, just a couple notes on both directors, Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman. Michael Hers was born May 9th, 1949. He's an American film producer, director, and screenwriter. Obviously a co-founder of Troma, which is apparently the world's longest-running independent film studio. I did not know that. That's cool. Fuck yeah. Go Troma. So Hers and Kaufman first met when both of them were attending Yale University.
With George Bush and Oliver Stone.
Yeah, exactly. That's a little bit of a note we'll get to.
That's so wild.
Isn't it? Yeah, for sure. So anyway, as of right now, Michael Hers is 74 years old, and he resides in New York City. Kaufman... initially, the two didn't get along, Hers and Kaufman. And Kaufman has stated that the only reason the two hung out with each other was that Hers owned a pinball machine, and Kaufman was the only person in their dormitory who owned a television. Regardless, he was cast in a small part in Kaufman's first feature film, The Girl Who Returned, from 1969. Okay, so after graduating from Yale, Hers went on to study law at New York University. Although he was quite adept at the subject, he secretly harbored a desire to become a screenwriter. His girlfriend Maris, who was a friend of Lloyd Kaufman's, took hers to see Cry Uncle, which was released in the UK as Super Dick and American Oddballs. That's a 1971 American film in the Troma Entertainment Library now. It was directed by John G. Avildsen and stars Alan Garfield. The story based on the Michael Brett novel Lie a Little, Die a Little. Anyway, so that was a film that Kaufman served as a production manager on, and that impressed hers, who contacted Kaufman and was hired for the production of the 1973 film Sugar Cookies, which I guess is an erotic softcore crime drama. So anyway, speaking of which, for those of you who are interested in the Troma app, they do have a relatively large category of naughties, like naughty films. So, I mean, I guess, check that out too if you want. Have some fun watching Troma Now naughties. Okay, so moving on. In 1974, Kaufman and hers did form Troma Entertainment. Together, they co-directed and co-produced all of Troma's original movies from 1979's Squeeze Play to 1990's Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. What a fucking classic.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, for real. When hers relinquished control of the director's chair to focus on the business end of Troma Studios. Hers is notoriously publicity shy, unlike Kaufman. He allows the more charismatic Kaufman to be the public face of Troma. Apart from brief appearances in the Class of Nukem High series, hers has remained behind the camera. Whenever a Troma promotional video calls for an appearance by hers, or when Kaufman is not available, the character of Michael Hers was played by Troma's iconic 500-pound actor, Joe Fleischer.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And with his wife Maris, they have one daughter, Sloane. So, anyway, he has quite the producer and directorial credit list, and that is Michael Hers. Now, jumping over to Uncle Lloyd, who, as stated, is the public face of Troma. So Stanley Lloyd Kaufman Jr. was born on December 30th, 1945. He's an American film director, screenwriter, producer, and actor. And as we said, alongside producer Michael Hers, he's the co-founder of Troma Entertainment Film Studio and the director of many feature films such as The Toxic Avenger and Tromeo and Juliet, to name two. Many of the strategies employed by him at Troma have been credited with making the film industry significantly more accessible and decentralized. Fuck yeah, Lloyd Kaufman. Early life notes. So Kaufman was born to a Jewish family in New York City. He's the son of Ruth and Stanley Lloyd Kaufman Sr., who was a lawyer. I would love, just throwing this out into the world, into the universe, one day to interview Uncle Lloyd for maybe a director episode. Honestly. I'd probably just shit my pants with excitement. So, we could film that and
remember
then use
from Key
it
and Peele
for
when they exploded when they were talking about movies?
What?
Remember in Key and Peele when they exploded when they were talking about movies?
Yes.
That's going to be us.
Right. Yeah,
we just turn into glass.
Holy shit. Yeah, for sure. So, anyway, as we stated a little bit with when we were talking about Michael Hers, Lloyd Kaufman did graduate from Yale University. He was in the class of 1968, where he majored in Chinese studies, interestingly. I didn't know that. But his fellow Yale classmates did include, as Mikey said, Oliver Stone and George W. Bush.
I think he was roommates with Oliver Stone.
Are you serious?
I think so. I'm not lying.
What? Okay, I don't know. I don't see anything about that. But if you can get a cited
he was on a
note,
podcast. He said that.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, originally intending to become a social worker, he became fast friends with a student filmmaker named Robert Edelstein and Eric Sherman, son of filmmaker Vincent Sherman. Oh, good God. Oh, I drank a soda right before the show, just so I'd be prepared.
He's going to make me vomit.
Yep, I hope I do. Anyway, so Eric Sherman introduced him to his future lifelong obsession, cinema. Some of Lloyd's favorite filmmakers include John Ford, Kenji Mizoguchi, Ernst Lubitsch, Stan Brakhage, and Franklin Schaffner. I believe I said all of those correctly. Yeah, so moving on. In 1966, Lloyd went on a hiatus from his studies and spent a year in Chad for the USAID as a pathfinder for the Peace Corps. Good for you, man. That is cool stuff.
That's so fucking awesome.
Right? Upon returning to Yale, he did produce Robert Edelstein's low-budget film Rappaccini and directed his own first feature film, an experimental black-and-white film titled The Girl Who Returned in 1969. The film was presented at film societies at Yale, Harvard, and other East Coast institutions. Following his graduation, Kaufman went on to work for Cannon Films, where he met John G. Avildsen.
That's so awesome. I didn't know he worked for Cannon.
I know, right? He would be the future Academy Award-winning director of Rocky and The Karate Kid.
Yep.
The two collaborated for several years.
He has a cameo in Rocky.
Oh, yeah, he does, right?
He's a drunk.
Yeah. You're right. So those two collaborated for several years, making low-budget films, including Joe in 1970, which starred Peter Boyle when he was pretty young.
The dad from I Love Raymond.
Yeah, and also, Frankenstein. The Frankenstein monster.
Frankenstein monster. That'd be a
Frankenstein?
Troma movie. That'd be a Troma movie, honestly. The Frankenstein monster.
Frankenstein.
Oh, this goes with actually what I'm doing on Saturday. Troma did 2 music videos for St. Lucia Sugar Bog.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking A. Good for you guys. That's cool.
Yeah, there's penis monsters in it.
Huh. Nice. Well, we'll get to our rotten penis rating later. Don't worry. Okay. Anyway, and then also he did Cry Uncle in 1971. During this period, Kaufman also directed and starred in his second feature film, The Battle of Love's Return, in 1971, which garnered positive reviews in publications such as the New York Times, and he wrote and co-produced the lesbian thriller Sugar Cookies in 1973 with Oliver Stone, and wrote and directed the Israeli comedy flop Big Gus, What's the Fuss, in 1973.
That title.
Big Gus, What's the Fuss? Yes. So Kaufman also served as an executive in charge of locations for Saturday Night Fever in 1977 and was influential in choosing 2001's Odyssey as the nightclub in the film. Wow. I did not know that. So that's cool to know. From 1973 to 1979, Kaufman produced and directed a handful of adult films in New York under the pseudonym Louis Sue. He directed at least 3 movies. So go check them out at your own discretion. The Divine Obsession.
Your own discretion.
The Newcomers, and Sweet and Sour. And he's been credited for producing at least 3 more, which are not mentioned in this article. Okay, so moving on into the Troma Studios kind of a launch. So in 1974, Kaufman and Michael Hurst founded Troma and began producing and distributing independent action and comedy films. In order to pay the bills, Kaufman did some freelance work for major Hollywood productions, including Rocky, as we mentioned, which was edited on Troma's flatbed machines. I did not know that. Saturday Night Fever and The Final Countdown, which he also produced. Kaufman has said that it was his experience on this film that made him never to want to deal with a major studio again. And that is cited from All I Need to Know About Filmmaking, I learned from the Toxic Avenger book. From 1979 to 1981, the two wrote, produced, and directed a series of profitable, sexy comedies, including Squeeze Play, Waitress, Stuck on You, and The First Turn On.
And Stuck on You was remade, right?
I believe it was, wasn't it?
2003, Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear.
Ah, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Directed by the Farley brothers, sorry.
Huh, all right, good to know. All right, so continuing. So in most of these early films, as we stated with the Toxic Avenger, Kaufman was credited as Samuel Weil, or Vile, not sure. Kaufman also made small appearance in Rocky, as Mikey stated, and served as the production manager on Louis Malle's My Dinner with Andre. Interesting. That's a good cast, too. In 1985, Troma experienced mainstream success with the violent, darkly comic superhero, the Toxic Avenger. Toxic went on to become Troma's most popular movie, inspiring 2 sequels, a 4th independent film sequel, a Saturday morning children's television show, comic books, tons of merchandise, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it all. The Toxic Avenger, or Toxie, is now Troma's official mascot. We did talk about, when I talked about this movie already, Kaufman's follow-up, which was The Class of Nukem High, that he co-directed with Richard W. Haynes. Writing on the success of The Toxic Avenger, Nukem inspired 2 sequels, a 4th independent film sequel, and a healthy run on late-night cable shows, such as USA Up All Night. At one time, Class of Nukem High was the highest-selling VHS for Troma.
Makes sense. And it also has 2 requels.
It does.
Return to Nukem High 1 and 2.
Okay, so that is just a little teeny tiny bit about one of the coolest people I haven't met.
And one of the best indie...
definitely the absolute coolest indie studio out there. Troma Entertainment and Lloyd Kaufman.
Punk rock and DIY style, honestly.
Absolutely. So I do want to take a second before we jump back into the Toxic Avenger and talk about, some details of that film.
I want to talk about some kills from it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Troma Now app. Just, making some honorable mentions. So as I said, first 30 days are free when you sign up with your email. And then it's $4.99 a month, which is really not bad considering how much is available to you on the app. So they put new things out every month, like new, indie film items. He's working with all sorts of young filmmakers, and it looks like a lot of their stuff ends up on the Troma Now app. Also, it'll be arranged by, Troma Essentials. You'll have their library. Then they'll break it down by comedy, horror. Have you ever watched Vice Academy? I haven't.
I think I have. I can't remember.
Okay.
I know the movie you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I got to check out Vice Academy. I almost started that, but you know what I did start and I haven't finished yet. I started Surf Nazis Must Die. Have you watched that one?
I love that one. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I haven't watched it before, so I just started it. I'm like 10 minutes in.
I think they just put it out. I don't think they Troma made it themselves.
Oh yeah, it's not by Troma. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, anyway, so they also, they even have a category that's just, for queer movies, which is really cool. And as I talked about before, they have their naughty stuff, but then they have their music videos that they've made, all kinds of extras and shorts. So you guys...
So it was distributed through Troma.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Who is the director of that?
That is Peter George.
Peter George? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so anyway, it's a really, really cool app. I'm just going to go ahead and, state that we're not sponsored by any means by Troma. We're not.
We wish.
Yeah, we wish. But I'm just saying this because I think, 1, Lloyd Kaufman is the man. 2, Troma is an amazing company. And 3, spend $5 a month to continue to help young independent filmmakers make the films that they want to make. That's way better than spending $15 a month on Netflix. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Go check out the Troma Now app. Now, moving on back into the Toxic Avenger. All right, let's jump into the plot really quick. We'll do a quick overview. If you haven't watched the Toxic Avenger, even though we sent you home with it last week, then we have a problem, a big problem. But yes, let's jump into the plot. So, Melvin Fur Junko III is a weakling who works as a janitor at a health club in the fictional town of Tromaville, New Jersey. I'm pretty sure that's where Mikey grew up, right?
Yeah, I live there. I was right under the toxic waste dump.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Nice.
That's why I don't want to show who I look. I look like Toxie. I don't want to tell people.
Is your last name Junko? Are you Mikey Junko?
Totally.
Holy fuck, bro. Doxed. Anyway, yes, so...
Melvin's my dad.
Aw, that's cute. Man, oh man. All right. So he works as a janitor at the health club, where the customers, including Bozo, Slug, Wanda, and Julie, who are a particularly sadistic quartet, harass him constantly. They trick Melvin into wearing a pink tutu, and they trick him into kissing a sheep. He is chased around the health club and jumps out of a second-story window where he falls into a drum of toxic waste, which sets him on fire. After running down the street on fire, Melvin douses the flames in his bathtub, but the chemicals transform him into a hideously deformed mutant with superhuman size and strength. Later, after he's been transformed, he realizes that he gets what's the word I'm looking for? He gets extremely angry when there is evil in his presence. Mm-hmm. So there is a group of drug dealers led by Cigar Face. You want to know why they call me Cigar Face? Dude, when he puts the cigar out on the cop's head, it's like, okay, that's really straightforward. Anyway, they're trying to buy off a police officer named O'Clancy. When O'Clancy refuses to accept the money, Cigarface and his gang prepare to castrate
What's next?
him.
Patio furniture?
Patio Clancy furniture. Melvin appears and kills the criminals. Then he leaves a mop on their faces as a calling card. Cigarface escapes, promising to take revenge. Melvin returns home, but his mother is terrified of him and will not let him in the house. So Melvin builds a makeshift trailer home in the local junkyard.
Bet he does.
In time, the people of Tromaville begin celebrating Melvin, or the monster, as a hero. Okay. So at the Mexican restaurant, a gang of 3 men attack a blind woman named Sarah, killing her dog.
Yeah, okay.
Holy shit. They shoot her dog and then attempt to rape her. Mm-hmm. After they shoot another man who stands up to them and, just generally are causing chaos, Melvin wreaks bloody vengeance on them. Toxie takes Sarah back to her home where she knocks over 87 canes off of her dresser. Poor girl. And then they get to know one another and subsequently become romantically involved. Melvin continues to fight crime, including drug dealers and pimps for underage prostitutes, and also takes revenge on the 4 tormentors who caused his transformation. He attacks Wanda in the health club sauna and burns her ass on the heater. This'll teach ya. He later returns to the club, pursues Julie into the basement, and cuts off her hair. He confronts Bozo and Slug after they steal a car, ending in Slug getting thrown out of the moving car and Bozo driving off the side of a cliff, killing him. Which, I mean, that's a good thing.
They've used that for multiple crashes in that movie, in a couple movies. So they
use the same scene.
Yeah, they used it in the first one, and I think the third. Did they? I know there's one crash that he used for multiple movies.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I assume that's a very expensive thing to do. So I guess if you have the footage, fuck it, go for it. Makes sense, All right. So, as Melvin gives aid to the people in the city, Mayor Bell Goody, is that right? Bell Goody?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Bell Goody?
I think so.
Right?
I think so. Oh my God.
What? What? Is it?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. As Melvin gives aid to the people in the city, Mayor Bellgoody, the leader of Tromaville's extensive crime ring, is terrified of what is going to happen to his goons. He is worried that it will lead back to him and wants Melvin taken care of. A group of men led by Cigar Face surround Melvin with guns. Just before they fire on him, he leaps up to a fire escape so that they all shoot each other. Let me finish up this next paragraph, and then we'll talk about particular kills throughout the movie. When Melvin kills a seemingly innocent old woman in a dry cleaning store, which she's in fact the leader of an underground human trafficking ring, he puts her into a dryer and then presses her.
That's why I was laughing.
Right. Well, Belle Goody uses this as an excuse to call in the United States National Guard. Okay, so back at a farm where Melvin or Toxie and his girlfriend are hanging out in a tent, the National Guard, Belle Goody, all of the henchmen, the police force, and the entire town show up. So they're eventually, discovered by all these people. The mayor and the National Guard come to kill him, but the people of Tromaville refuse. And Melvin's mother arrives and identifies the mutant as her son. Everyone steps up in front of him, protecting him. The mayor's evil ways are revealed, and Melvin proceeds to rip out his organs to see if he has any guts. Hailed as a hero, the Toxic Avenger continues to combat crime in Tromaville. All right, Mikey, what are some of your favorite effects in this movie?
The kill in the gym with the weight thing. That goes to the face.
Yep.
The car scene really fucked me up with when he ran over the kid.
Oh, that was so sad. Yeah. Oh my god.
Some of the other ones
head
are
got
fucking
squished.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The sauna rocks thing was funny.
Yeah. That was funny. Honestly, the car crash, that whole scene was really great. It was filmed really well. You know what I noticed, and I'd like to ask Lloyd? In the car chase scene, there are actually 2 different U-Hauls that are used. So there's a smaller U-Haul that's they dodge around, and then there's a really big U-Haul that's backing up, and the car comes past it. So I'm kind of wondering if they rented a couple U-Hauls as trucks,
what if they did guerrilla filmmaking though?
I mean, if I was gonna say, if I wanted a big truck to be backing up as a part of a shot scene, it's definitely way more affordable to go rent a U-Haul for a day than it is.
What is it, $10?
To pay. Well, no, definitely more than that now, but maybe back then. But then to pay a truck driver to back his truck up for a shot, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool stuff. Anyway. I would say definitely that workout scene when the head gets crushed, when the kid's head gets run over, that's super sad, and a really, really good effect. And then, I mean, personally, dude, I love the toxic waste. That is just the coolest slime nastiness.
I love that neon green, gross and slimy shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, you can't beat the makeup on Toxie. Come on. That is so cool.
I have another cool fact. The effects artist, she worked on Street Trash also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, believe it or not, Street Trash isn't a Troma film, but it feels like one.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
And the writer of that did the documentary on Romero called The Document of the Dead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, weird little small world.
No, I love it. I love those connections. So let's take a second to talk about the famous directors that have come out of Troma Entertainment. So, actually, there are a lot of people who've started their careers with Troma, which include both directors, writers, actors, and so Trey Parker came out of Troma, James Gunn, Eli Roth, Oliver Stone, and James Seamus are among those who have worked for Troma or made movies that Troma launched. And then the first efforts of Kevin Costner, Dustin Hoffman, Samuel L. Jackson, and Robert De Niro, among others, can be found in Troma's valuable film library. Troma, this is from their website, continues to be a haven for independent directors and young talent during an era of corporate takeovers. And I'm going to add in the Marvel bullshit. But, I mean, James Gunn is making a Marvel movie, so, I guess they're in that.
And
too.
Lloyd's in Guardians.
Right. Yeah.
Isn't that fucking hilarious?
It's the only Marvel film I'm happy about, anyway.
Well, I heard the second Doctor Strange is good because of Sam Raimi, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You see, they just need to take more horror directors into those films, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
Now James Gunn's at DC also.
Yeah, he's gonna do an overhaul of DC, hopefully. So
these are not my kind of favorite kind of movies, honestly. I love comic books, but the movies are just too ridiculous. It's just a green screen. That's it.
Yeah, it's gotten way out of hand.
I understand there's different comic book series, and I love them. I just don't need every one of them as a show.
Yeah, honestly, the comic book movies are destroying cinema in general. I read an article just the other day that something like 6 successful comedy films were put out by major motion studios like last year. And don't quote me on that. It's just from memory. Whereas it would be 3 or 4 times that a decade ago, because film studios are putting all of their money towards these major
remakes,
toy and comic book and remake films.
Oh yeah, of course, because Marvel has to make money on all their stuff.
Right, exactly.
They do the same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's absolutely just destroying small cinema, which is why I say support the Troma Now app and support small filmmakers. Anyway,
so they can go on and direct those movies.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so moving on into some cast notes. So just major cast, we have Mitch Cohen, who played Melvin Ferd Junko III, and then Kenneth Kessler, who was the voice of Melvin and the Toxic Avenger. But you also had Mark Torgl as just Melvin. So Mitch Cohen was the body of the big guy. Kenneth Kessler was the voice of the big guy, and Mark Torgl was the skinny little Melvin Ferd Junko III. I believe that's correct. Let's see. Andre Miranda was, or Andrea? Andre? It's spelled Andree. Miranda played Sarah. And then you had Pat Ryan Jr., who played Mayor Peter Bellgoody Goldberg. Dan Snow was Cigarface. Gary Schneider was Bozo, and Robert Pritchard was Slug. I really want to know. Oh, David Weiss was the chief of police. He was a really good Nazi character. Mein Führer. Stupid. So that was funny. Anyway, okay. So some production notes on the film itself. The Toxic Avenger was the film that built the House of Troma, as we stated. But it wasn't Troma's first horror film. That was the infamous Mother's Day from 1980.
So fucking good. It's directed by Lloyd's brother. It's one of my favorite slasher movies, yeah. They remade it. They remade it with the director of Saw 2, Darren Bousman. It's pretty good, the remake.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
I think Sean Ashmore's in that one.
I have not seen the original nor the remake, so add them to the list. That's 75 miles long.
Because I know you've been watching like slashers, 80s ones. Yep. Check out Mother's Day. I think it might be. I think it's on Troma. I think it's on Troma now.
Okay, yeah, it is. I saw it, so I'll check that out. Yeah, right. Well, I need to finish the Surf Nazis Must Die, and then I'll do that.
Double feature it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so before Mother's Day, the production company, as we stated earlier, focused on sex comedies like Cry Uncle and Squeeze Play. But then after Mother's Day and then into the Toxic Avenger and things like that, Troma focused mostly, almost exclusively on horror films and horror comedies. In 1975, Lloyd Kaufman had the idea to shoot a horror film involving a health club while he was serving as the production supervisor on the set of Rocky, like we mentioned. At the Cannes Film Festival, Kaufman had read an article that said that horror films were no longer popular. So Kaufman claims that he decided to produce his own version of the horror film. The film's outcome was less a bona fide horror film and more of a campy superhero spoof with extreme violence embedded throughout.
I think this movie is better than most Marvel movies.
I agree. Fuck yeah, bro. The setting of the movie in a health club, and the movie was giving the working title Health Club Horror, which is a cool name in itself, really. Filming, the principal photography for Toxic Avenger took place at various locations throughout New Jersey, including Jersey City, Boonton, Paramus, Harrison, and Rutherford during the summer of 1983.
Paramus.
Yeah, shout out Paramus Park Mall. Yeah,
Fairlawn sucks. Fuck Fairlawn.
Mikey's from Fairlawn, and I lived in Dumont for about 7 years. So, anyway. Filming also took place in Depew Park and several surrounding streets in Peekskill, New York. Filming was later reported to be completed in 1983. The car chase scene was inspired by the final truck scene in George Miller's Mad Max 2.
There we go.
So, yeah, cool stuff, man. All right, so moving on. We always talk about what types of releases there were. So the different styles of media that this film came out on. It was first released by Troma on VHS and Betamax in 1986. For those of you who don't know,
I've never had Betamax and I've never had Laserdisc.
Right. What Betamax is, it's a consumer level analog recording in cassette format of magnetic tape for video.
It was like pre-VHS tape.
Pre-VHS, yeah, essentially. It was developed by Sony and it was released in 1975. And then VHS would have come out right in 1976 or 77. So it was a direct competitor for Betamax.
And we've been alive for that long.
Yeah. So, and like Mikey said, he never had Laserdisc. My uncle had Laserdisc, bro.
My uncle did too. That's where I watched it.
Laserdiscs were like this big around.
Yep.
It was wild. If you threw a Laserdisc like a Frisbee at somebody's head, you could decapitate them. Did you know that? I mean, if you threw it hard enough.
I feel like you could.
I mean, I just made that up, but I'm sure you could. All right, so moving on. For the first time, Toxic Avenger was released on DVD on March 25th of 1998, and then it was later re-released by Troma on November 20th, 2000, and again on September 3rd of 2002, with the latter release of the film being a part of a 4-disc Toxic Avenger movie pack. So the film was later picked up for distribution by Prism, who later released the film on February 2nd of 2004. And then Troma later released a 21st anniversary edition version of the film on March 29th of 2005.
That's the DVD I had for a while.
Nice. On March 7th, 2006, the film was released by Koch Entertainment. The film would not receive another home media release until Troma's release of...
Wait, do you mean Koch?
No, I said Koch.
It's like C-O-C-K?
No, it's C-O-C-H, but I'm calling it Koch.
That's Koch.
It's Koch. Yeah, it's Koch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Koch.
I thought you were just doing it on purpose.
I was. It's Koch.
No, I mean like you weren't doing it on purpose, I mean.
Oh, well, I'm glad you caught it, though. Koch Entertainment.
Well, I mean, after the Schmegma thing.
Right, rottenpenis.com. The film would not receive another home media release until Troma's released a Japanese cut of the film on December 11th, 2012. Troma would release the film for the first time on Blu-ray on August 12th, 2014, and on November 18th later that year, it was released on Blu-ray by an import vendor. And then Uncle Lloyd tweeted at us that the film will be released on 4K when?
August 29th.
I see.
I think so. Is this it?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so for those of you who are collectors, as Mikey is and as I kind of am, not really, but I might actually get that one. Looks like August. At the end of August, you'll be seeing a 4K release of the Toxic Avenger by Troma Entertainment. Okay.
I have. So the one I have, it's called the Toxic Avenger Collection.
Fun. All right. Well, let's move on because we have 2 more sections to get through. That would be 1, my favorite section, where we talk about the critics, and 2, where we're going to talk about something very exciting, which I'm not going to talk about yet, but it's the reboot. Okay, so for critics, the review aggregator site, rottendicks.com.
Rotten Penis.
Rottenpenis.com states that the Toxic Avenger holds an approval rating of 70% based on 20 reviews and an average rating of 5.5 out of 10. That's bullshit. And if you're listening to the show, you should go create a rottenpenis.com account and give it a better rating.
And if you don't, I'll give you a pile driver on the box.
Mikey will light you on fire and pile drive you into the racks of VHSs, setting our store on fire and claiming us tons of insurance money while you burn. Anyway.
In Minecraft, it wasn't real.
Oh, right. Its consensus reads, a silly and
It's just a video game.
Right, it's not real. A silly superhero spoof. Toxic Avengers' uninhibited humor hits more than it misses. Okay, that's kind of dick. But on metapenis.com, the film has a weighted penis average score of 42 out of 100. Would
you say it was a girthy ween?
I would say It's a seriously girthy ween, which indicates mixed or average reviews.
Oh, wait. Dylan, there's something behind you. I think it's you.
It's Hugh? Oh, Dead-Eye Hugh.
Penis.
Mikey, put him back in the fucking closet.
All right,
Holy
fine.
shit. Oh,
all right, he's back in his cage.
Listen, y'all, if you haven't listened to our Evil Dead 1 and 2 episodes, our old manager,
fake
Hugh,
manager for our fake show.
Yeah, Hugh Janus. Hugh Janus, he unfortunately became a Deadite, and he hasn't left. So
and he has the funniest voice too.
Yeah, he's always like gobbling up little penises. So anyway,
and he's talking about it too. It's weird.
Watch your penises while Hugh Janus is around. All right, continuing with the critics. Author.
I have to mute myself. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Author and film critic Leonard Maltin awarded the film 2.5 out of 4 stars, calling the film a funny spoof, not without violence and gore, but still entertaining.
I like him.
Yeah. 2.5 out of 4 is rough.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Stephen Holden of the New York Times rated the film a score of 3 out of 5, complimenting the film for its maniacally farcical sense of humor, while also noting that the film itself was trash.
You can get tossed into the rotten penis bin.
I'll toss you into the rotten penis trash pile, Stephen Holden of the New York Times. Suck a flayed cock.
Because you had like craves rotten penises, we have like a vat of rotten penises here. We're just gonna shove them inside and lock them in.
What no one knows is it's actually the critics' penises. So, all right. So, it's like what is that called? Why can't I think? Theater of Blood, 1973.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So in that one, Vincent Price essentially is like an actor who kills off his critics. So what we do, where I was going with that, is we find the critics of the movies that we really like, and we round them up and we cut off their penises, and then we feed them to Hugh Janus.
And they're still alive. They're just eunuchs now. Right.
They're now eunuch critics. It's eunuchcritic.com is where they all work now. We started a company.
They work at rottenpenis.com.
Oh, got it. Yeah, we just keep their penises. Okay, continuing.
You do. I don't.
No, Hugh keeps them. Hugh Janus keeps the penises.
No, you said you do.
No, Hugh.
No, not me. Me's not here today.
What about you? Is you here?
I'm here. I don't know if you is here.
No, not you. You.
This is the second time we've done this.
I know. We have an employee named him. That's YU. HIM.
No. There's two of them. It's
or is it
H-I-M.
you he?
No. It's just YUU. And then there's also HIME.
Heme.
Yeah.
So we have you and we have him. Heme. You him? Everybody get the fuck back to work. Holy shit, I can't run this place to save my life. We're going to go out of business.
Welcome back to Dylan's Mind Melters.
Yeah, Dylan's fucking Mind Melters. But also, I'm obviously not very good at business because I give away 6 movies every week for $3. So whatever.
Sometimes they never come back.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, continuing.
Like this week, you didn't even ask me about this week.
What?
You didn't ask me about how they came back this week.
Oh, fuck. Well, we'll talk about that at the end, and
They're all broken.
We'll cover it. What? All right, so TV Guide gave the film, wow, this is really shitty. TV Guide gave the film a negative 1 out of 5 stars.
Ooh, TV Guide?
Yes.
They're irrelevant now. Who gives a fuck?
I know. They wrote, though it's silly, sleazy, and graphically violent, the Toxic Avenger does hold a bit of warped charm for fans of this sort of thing.
But at that time, what were fans of that?
I don't know.
That's a weird thing to say, unless it was a newer review of it.
Yeah. Keith Phipps of the AV Club was highly critical of the film, writing that, as for the movie itself, it's still a piece of trash, if a marginally entertaining one. So really shitty reviews, and fuck you guys. In his book, Comedy Horror Films, A Chronological History, Bruce G. Hallenbeck described the film as disgusting, sick, vile, poorly acted, and sloppily produced. He challenged the...
That's on purpose, though.
I know, right? He challenged the interpretation of the film as a parody, arguing that the mean-spirited tone of its extreme gore and offensiveness makes clear that the filmmakers were simply trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator. Wow, that is super duper shitty. You know what, Bruce Hallenbeck? You are a piece of shit. And we're going to take your penis and feed it to Hugh Janus. Moving on. Our last notes on the Toxic Avenger before we wrap up for the day. So when I was reading through these notes, and this section is specifically from Wikipedia, the Toxic Avenger Wikipedia, I swear on my life I thought somebody was fucking with me. So when we read through this, I'm going to be reading it like somebody's fucking with me. But this is all actually cited information. So, okay, here we go. According to Kaufman, due to the remake of Mother's Day, major motion picture companies were interested in doing a remake of other Troma films as well, or other remakes. Among the titles that were in negotiations was The Toxic Avenger. On April 6, 2010, a remake of The Toxic Avenger was announced. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was announced on May the 13th.
For it. Yeah.
Yeah. By Craptastic Movies. The remake, once claimed to be aiming for a family-friendly PG-13 release similar to the Toxic Crusaders television series, was to be co-written and directed by Steve Pink. In May 2013, Arnold Schwarzenegger entered talks for a role in the film.
Oh, is that the part where you thought someone was fucking with you?
This is where it starts. So this, just so you guys know, this was cited in the Hollywood Reporter. So that was real.
What year was this?
That was 2013. Okay. In late 2013, Schwarzenegger dropped out to work on Terminator Genisys, which was a bad choice. But as of February 2015, plans for the remake continued to circulate.
Would he be Toxie?
I believe he would have been.
That's so cool.
On September 12th...
I'm Toxie.
Get to the mappa.
God, now it's just... He just went Scottish.
Bro,
Get to the chopper.
Get to the mappa.
He's also going to say, who is your daddy and what does he do?
His name's Melvin.
It is not a tumor.
Oh, my God. Okay, continuing.
Sorry.
It's fine. On September the 12th, 2016... Variety reported that Conrad Vernon would direct the film with executive producers, and this is where I was like, get the fuck out of here. Guillermo del Toro, Bob Cooper, Alex Schwartz, Akiva Goldsman, and Greg Lessons. Mike Arnold and Chris Poole were to rewrite the screenplay. Continuing, and this is where I was like, all right, everybody fuck off. On December 10th, 2018, it was announced that Legendary Pictures...
I told you about this.
I know. Had the rights. You didn't tell me about the names, though. Had the rights to reboot the film, with Kaufman and her set to serve as the film's producers, as we mentioned earlier. In March 2019, Macon Blair was announced to write and direct the upcoming reboot. In December 2020, Peter Dinklage is set to star. In April 2021, Jacob Tremblay also joined the cast with Taylor Page, who joined in May 21. On June 12th, 2021, it was announced that Kevin Bacon had joined the film as the fucking villain, followed by Julia Davis and Elijah Wood.
You know what? Honestly, the Kevin Bacon thing makes sense because you've watched Super, right?
Yeah, and I guess the Elijah Wood thing makes sense because he just does whatever the fuck he wants these days.
Dude, he's a giant genre fan.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He and Harry Potter, what's his name?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe does all sorts of fucking cool movies.
Did you see the remake of Maniac where Elijah Wood plays Frank Zito?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it's so creepy. Huh. It's all shot POV. It's like weird because the remake is just like a slash, or the original is just a slasher. But this one's like POV, and it's produced by Alexandra Aja, who did the remake of Hills of Eyes and High Tension.
Okay. Gotcha.
Worth a watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So at all of these names, Guillermo del Toro, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, Arnold Schwarzenegger. By the end of this article, I was like, there's no fucking way any of this is real. But in 2022, the completed work was officially rated R for strong violence and gore, language throughout, sexual references, and brief graphic nudity, thus contradicting earlier claims of a PG-13 rating. Now, I did have to dive into the rest of the internet because I thought someone on Wikipedia had just been fucking around. But come to find out, Bloody Disgusting does confirm as of March 28th, 2023, that the Toxic Avenger remake will feature a butt gut scene that's sure to get people talking. Butt guts. So
me and Dylan's new band.
Yeah, and they do reference Elijah Wood, Julia Davis, Taylor Page, Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage, and Jacob Tremblay leading the cast of Macon Blair's The Toxic Avenger. I have not found a release date thus far, but it is in the works. So get excited, fuckers. It's going to be a good time. Mikey, you got any final notes before we jump on out of this deep dive into The Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, you're going to read what I wrote.
Oh, well, that's diving out, motherfucker.
You're going to read
All
it,
right.
motherfucker?
Let's get the fuck out of here. Say bye. Say bye. All right.
Bye, Toxie. I miss you.
Bye, Toxie. We love you, and we'll never forget you, and we'll watch you a million times more. All right. So, jumping on out, let's go ahead. We're going to head into, well, you know what we'll do?
Mikey's fucked up mind.
Yeah, we're going to head into our new segment called Mikey's Fucked Up Chat GPT.
I should make something like that.
So just have Chat GPT spit out a bunch of like awful. God damn it! You're burping now too.
It's the Ghost energy drink. I can't help it. It's
Sure.
so tasty.
All right. So without looking, I'm just going to
Strawberries.
dive in right now. We're gonna read out Mikey's Chat GPT notes. All right. From Girthy Ween. Check your phone. Your phone must be checked. Harambe will never be silenced. He is forever. I am Dylan. We are one. Blood Harambo Kringus. Dylan is safe, but Mike dies at midnight. Hail me. Hail the scabs of eternity. Scabs for days, son. Moist scabs, rotten penis, squid anus, wet anus. Fucking shit, bro. All right. And that's what Mikey made me say today. Again, if you guys haven't, sent us an email at vhsdoom@gmail.com. If you send me anything, I will literally read it on
You didn't
our
read it all.
Wally Ringus, Penis Mingus, Reverse Anus. Holy shit, bro. You're stupid. Oh, I love it. I love it. So that concludes this week's session of Chat GPT, Mike GPT. All right. So, Mikey, we sent them home last week with quite the selection. That was Dead Snow from 2009 by Tommy Wirkola, Grotesque from 2009, Koji Shiriashi, Machine Girl from 2008 by Noboru Iguchi.
That's such a fun movie.
Yeah, Loved Ones from 2009 by Sean Burns, and Batman Mask of the Phantasm from 1993.
Which, have you seen yet?
No, I haven't watched it. I have too many
God.
things on the list, man.
No, I mean,
really
like,
do.
in general, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Did you watch the show growing up?
Yeah, I watched a lot of the Batman cartoons.
Okay.
growing up,
Yeah, because this was part of the animated show, the original show.
Got you. They just did a feature length.
Mm-hmm. They did a bunch of them.
No, I haven't seen that one. But how does everything look this week?
One of the discs was not disc. Sorry. Well, why is there a disc here?
I don't fucking know. You're checking it in.
It's the VHS is crushed, and then the disc is crushed too, but it's sprinkled out. So if I try picking it up, oh god, my hands. Oh god.
Oh, he's bleeding everywhere. Oh god, you know what happens when you bleed?
Oh no, wait, there's scabs here too.
Hey, Scab, it's good to see you, bub. Not much, bud. Just working, with this asshole over here. Have you been smoking cigarettes? You sound a little weird this week. Just. Oh, I see. Yeah, they probably just lock you in a room full of like smoke, right? Oh, okay. Did you you're not hurting them, are you? You shoved a rotten penis down his throat?
No, I hit him with an axe.
Holy shit. All right, cool. It was good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. All right, peace.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. You got possessed, and Scab started talking, and we were just having a good time. Glad you're back, though.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, you were asking me about the VHS tapes.
Yeah. How's that?
Okay, so one of them is smashed. The other one's, like, covered in, like, glass and shit.
Oh, okay. Glass.
But I will say Mask of the Phantasm is, like, unopened. I guess they didn't watch it.
Oh, bitches.
They probably, like, stopped. They probably got mad, and they broke the Martyrs disc. Not the disc. No, they probably had the disc, too, for some reason.
Right.
So they broke the disc, and then they broke the VHS.
Oh, well, martyrs can make people mad, as you heard last week when I fucking went off the rails in anger. But that makes sense. Okay, well, thanks for breaking everything. Thanks for no piss or shit this week. I do appreciate it. But let's try not to smash.
I lost a finger, and, like, I lost, like a year's out of my life. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Mikey's got a lot of blood on the counter. He's going to have to clean up.
Okay, so, like, 4 seconds in the Scabbyverse, it turns you into, like, it's like 4 hours, or like 4 years, actually.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you do look a little older, buddy.
My beard's, like, longer. It's like touching the floor.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Your red curly beard with your really thick glasses and your red fro. And for some reason, Mikey only wears orange pants, green suspenders, and no shirts. I don't know, man.
Well, no, I wear shirts, but
do you?
It's only the sleeves. It's
Are
purple.
They're see-through?
No,
it's
purple.
Sleeves. You just wear purple sleeves. All right. He's a really weird fucking gnome, but that's all right. All right, so.
I'm trying to emulate Mario's clothing.
It's me, a Mikey-o.
No, I mean Wario, my bad.
Wario? Oh, my God. You know, I think I have a Wario sound effect. I'll put one in.
Oh, my God!
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up today by getting you guys checked out and get you out of here because we're almost at the end of our time. So grab your popcorn, grab your candies, grab your soda pops. Don't forget a ring pop. Don't forget your blow. I mean, what? Your blow pops. Okay.
I was like, we're not a deli, dude.
No, I was just gonna say blow.
No, we should have a deli here.
No fucking way. We'll call it Arts Cafe. Yeah, for sure. We'll serve cereal.
They have to clean the toilets themselves, though.
Right, exactly. And they will always be really dirty. So the movies we're sending you home with this week, we obviously have Class of Nukem High from 1986. We have Night of the Werewolf from 1981 by Paul Naschy, otherwise known as Jacinto Molina. The Legend of Blood Castle from 1973 by Jorge Grau. Dragonfly for Each Corpse from 1975 by Leon Kilmovsky. And Mikey, I actually picked the kids' movie this week, but do you want to cover it?
Which one was it again? Oh, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, fucking Beetlejuice. So this week we're sending you guys home with the classic from 1998 by Tim Burton, Beetlejuice. That'll be a great time for you and the
Starring
kids.
Batman as Beetlejuice.
Yes, starring Batman as Beetlejuice. And then lastly, the last movie you're going home with this week, which is on us because it's the movie we're talking about next week, is actually picked by a poll on Twitter. You guys chose next week's movie. Mikey, what is it?
2005's Wolf Creek from Australia.
Who's the director of that?
That is Greg McLean.
All right.
He made a Belko Experiment with James Gunn.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, so this one, it's based on a true crime story, or a story that really happened of backpackers that got killed in the outback.
Okay.
Yeah, so these people were like vacationing out in like the outback, and then all of a sudden they come across this weird man, and he just starts torturing them. At one scene, there's like a really good like hand cutting scene, like fingers come off.
Oh, damn it!
This is a pretty extreme movie, honestly. The second one's good too. I haven't seen the TV show yet.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes.
The same guy in it plays the same guy in all of it.
I'm really happy that we took a week for something a little more mild in the Toxic Avenger. We're going to sandwich the Toxic Avenger between fucking Martyrs from 2008 and Wolf Creek from 2005 because we're wild. So, anyway.
I also said, like, Suicide Club and I think in The Ring also. But
Yeah, I saw those. But, hey, you guys picked. You want us to watch what you want us to watch, and we're here for it. So,
and I love all those movies, so it's fine.
You're right, exactly. We love them all. And we'll talk about any of them. And we'll have fun with it. Lastly, right now, before you take off, I want to say thank you all for coming back and visiting the VHS Doom podcast and rental store.
Next episode's going to be 20. We can't believe it. Thank you, guys.
We can't believe we're almost at 20, and thank you guys for listening in. We appreciate you. Please give us a like, a follow.
20 weeks in a row. That's wild.
It is. Please give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. Give us a rating and share with your friends. Let everyone know about the VHS Doom podcast who might like it. And give us a visit at vhsdoom.com if you want to check out our sweet merch. We're going to keep it rolling. We appreciate you guys. And anything else, Mikey?
Penis, penis, penis.
Penis, penis? What's Hugh doing over there? Oh, he's such a penis gobbler. All right. Bye, guys. We'll talk to you later.